Good day everyone, especially to you, Ma'am Leslie. I am Manilin Leia from BEd Second Year Morning Session Group 4 Reporter. This is the continuation of our discussion about typical and atypical development among children.
Good evening, everyone. So this evening, our topic is all about cognitive development theory of Jean Piaget. So Piaget states theories describes the cognitive development of children. Cognitive development involved change, and Piaget's new early cognitive development involved process based upon action and later progress to change and mental operations. So, si John Piaget ay inilarawan niya ang cognitive development ng mga bata. So, halimbawa, kung tuturuan mo ang mga bata ng mga bagay-bagay at for example, turuan mo ang mga bata ng magsulat or humawak ng lapis at saka magsulat sila ng letter. So, ma-apply din nila hanggang paglaki. Nung maliit pa sila, turuan mo sila kung ano ang kanilang gagawin or kung ano ang mga words na dapat mong ituro sa kanila. So, hanggang paglaki nila ay ma-apply nila sa kanilang isip or maisip nila na kung ano ang iyong tinuturo nung maliit pa sila. So, halimbawa, ang isang sanggol ay matuto ng humawak ng mga bagay-bagay sa kanyang mga kamay. So, nung maliit pa sila, hindi pa sila marunong humawak ng mga bagay-bagay. No, hanggang paglaki nila, kung turuan mo sila nung maliit pa sila, hanggang paglaki nila ay matuto na sila at mapaunlad or matatak sa isip nila na kung ano ang yung tinuturo nung baby pa sila. So,
Hey everyone, especially to our teacher, Ma'am Leslie. My topic for today is all about the social learning theory of Albert Bandura. Social learning theory introduced by psychologist Albert Bandura proposed that learning occurs through observation and limitation by modeling and is influenced by factors such as attention, motivation, and attitudes. Then also our emotions. The theory accounts for the interaction of environment and cognitive elements that affect how people learn. So the theory suggests that learning occurs because people observe the consequences of the other people's behaviors. Bandura theory moves beyond behavioral theories, which suggest that all behaviors are learned through conditioning, and cognitive theories, which consider psychological influences such as attention and the memory. So the Bandera's theory explain that people learn by observing and imitating others within social context. So the Bandura's theory highlights the observational learning where individuals watch models behavior and its consequences to imitate it. So who are the models? The models can be our parents, teachers, peers, and also our environment. So here are the example of Bandura's theory. Children imitating their parents. For example, a child observes their parents saying please and thank you and starts using their words in their interactions. Then learning through media and also in our classroom behavior that we have the Bandura theories there because for example the students observe a classroom raising while there are students raising their hands while answering the question and receiving some praise from their teacher, so they begin raising their hand often. So
So once again, I am Manilin Ilea from the Ed second year morning session. So this is what I'm going to discuss with you. It's all about the key factors for social learning success. Introduced by psychologist Albert Bandura. He is a Canadian-American psychologist and originator of social learning theory. The first key factors for social learning success is attention. Attention is the act of concentrating, focusing, and paying attention on something. So, when we talk about attention, isa ito sa pinakamahalagang i-manage sa loob ng classroom, lalo na kapag panahon ng discussion. Kasi nga, in order to learn, you need to be paying attention. Anything that distracts your attention is going to have a negative effect on observational learning. So hindi naman talaga maiwasan yung distraction while teaching. So kaya nga sinasabing you need to be paying attention. Kailangan mong makuha ang buong atensyon ng estudyante, and you as well. Kailangan mong ibigay yung atensyon mo sa mga hinanaing ng iyong estudyante, katulad na lamang ng may clarification sila sa iyong lesson. So that paying attention is to have a smooth teaching inside the classroom. So you as teacher and also the student should be paying attention in order to have a productive classroom. So the second one is retention. Retention is the ability to recall information, memories, and knowledge. So when we talk about retention, its meaning is to recall information. So retention is the ability to store information. So this is also an important part of learning success. So masasabi mong yung learning is naging successful because of retention. Katulad na lamang ng you teach yesterday, then you ask your student about the lesson yesterday, and diyan mo masusukat ang kakayahan ng isang mag-aaral. So like a sort of review. So diyan mo masusukat na ito mag-aaral na to are paying attention while discussion, kaya may naisagot siya during your review or retention. The third one is reproduction. Reproduction refers to the learner's ability to replicate or demonstrate learned behaviors, skills, or knowledge. So when we talk about reproduction, so dito napapasok yung, kasi nga, nag-attention tayo, retention, and then reproduction. So masasabi mong if successful yung attention and retention kapag ang iyong estudyante is able to reproduce. So may kakayanan na silang mag-abstract. They are able to reproduce based on your teaching. So based on what they thought, and also with the help of the teacher. So once you have paid attention and to the model and retain the information, it is time to actually perform the behavior you observe. So dito napapasok yung kakayanan ng estudyante na mag-abstract and reproduce, kasi nga successful yung learning process. So the fourth one and the last, this is the motivation. Motivation, you have to be motivated to imitate that behavior that has been done. So when you talk about motivation, this is a very crucial part as a teacher, because when you teach with motivation. You can teach without motivation, but the atmosphere of the classroom is lifeless. So motivation. So you decide to teach different in children. So you motivated yourself to impart learning to a student. So also your student can see you as a good model, so that they are able to go to school because they are motivated by you. They can see you as a good model. So in order for observational learning to be successful, you have to be motivated to imitate the behavior that has been modeled. So nakikitaan kanila ng motivasyon. Kaya sila nagkakaroon ng ganang pumasok araw-araw, kasi even you as teacher, you show your full motivation to them. So sa paraan na iyon, nagkakaroon ng kaalaman, or the student awakening their mind, their presence, because of your motivation. So these 4 key factors for social learning. the attention, retention, reproduction, and motivation is will be successful if you are a teacher which is can considerate your student. You can give your attention, and also your student can give their attentions to you, and retention. So a sort of review, reproduction. So they are able to reproduce from the learning the thought, and especially with the help of the teacher. And motivation, your student can see you as a good model. That's why they are motivated to go to school to learn because of your motivation. So that's all. Hopefully you learn from my discussion, and um, thank you for listening.
Typical and atypical development. The development of a child usually follows a predictable pattern. There are certain skills and abilities that are observed to gauge a child's development are called developmental milestones. So, typical development refers to the normal progression where children grow by acquiring knowledge, skills, and behavior called developmental milestone at a certain time. For example, typical 3-year-old might, in physical, they can run, jump, climb stairs with alternating feet, and draw simple shapes. In cognitive, understand basic colors and shapes, follow simple instructions, and engage in pretend play. In social emotional, show empathy, share toys sometimes, and express a wide range of emotion. In language, speak in a simple sentence, use pronouns correctly, and understand most of what is said to them. It is important to understand that typical doesn't mean every child will hit every milestone at, a, at the exact same time or the exact same way. There's a wide range of what considered typical.
Good afternoon, everyone. My topic is all about atypically development. Atypically development is a term used when development does not follow the normal course. More so, a child is developing atypically when he or she reaches milestones earlier or later than other children his or her age. Atypically development means a child's journey is different. It doesn't mean a child is bad or broken. It simply means they need different kinds of support and understanding, and providing the right support to help them thrive or grow. Kumbaga, kinakailangan nila ng iba't ibang suporta at pag-uunawa. Example, delayed language development or have difficulty with language at an age or has unclear speech. Yung hindi gaanong nakakapagsalita or kumbaga mga late groomer. Develop in a unique way. A child might excel a specific area like art or math while struggling in others. Kumbaga, may mga batang mahilig sa math at arts. Developmental delays, experiencing slower progress in reading, developmental milestones like walking, talking, and social skills. Kumbaga, may mga batang hindi gaanong nakakapaglakad o nakakapagsalita ng maayos at nakakaepekto din ito sa kanilang social skills. There is no clear way to identify a child is developing typically or atypically. However, there are 3 commonly accepted principles of a child development that one should look into. The following principles are follows. Number 1, rate of development differs among children. Number 2, development occurs in a relatively orderly process. Number 3, development takes place gradually.
Good afternoon, everyone. My topic is all about domains of development. First one is communication domain. Children have to learn to able to communicate actively with their family, First, teachers and more communication is the first step that develops across the five stages of child development, which will progress into conversation skills and navigating relationships as they grow older. Some a child will learn to communicate by watching and listening to their parents and then mimicking their words and action. The more you communicate with your child, the earlier the career they will develop. The second one is physical domain. Across the five stages of child development, the body develops in both gross and fine motor development. The gross motor development that makes place allows your child to move in the world with balance, coordination, ease, and confidence. Is one of many domains are in front the toddler development. It relates to growth, the skills, the development in the body, including the brain, muscles, and senses. For example, babies learn about the world as they develop their physical sense of sight, touch, smell, sound, and taste.
Social-emotional domain. Ang panlipunan at emosyonal na pag-unlad ng mga bata, lalo na sa antas ng preschool, ay napakahalaga sa kanilang pangkalahatang pagkatao at pag-unlad. Halimbawa, may bata ang nabigo ng hindi sa napili sa isang laro, sa halip na sumigaw o umiyak, tinulungan sa ng guro na huminga ng malalim at pag-isipan ang iba pang mga aktibidad kung saan sa ay maaring makilahok o nagturo sa kanya kung paano kontrolin ang kanyang damdamin sa ganitong sitwasyon. So, mauni siya ang social-emotional domain. Cognitive domain. Cognitive development in children involve all the processes of how children think, understand, and navigate the world around them. So, kung isang bata ay nakarinig ng bulkan, magtanong sa kanyang guro o mga magulang tungkol dito at maghanap ng mga libro tungkol sa mga bulkan upang malaman kung ano ito at paano ito nagaganap. So, mauna ang cognitive.
Everyone, my name is Miros Amrovia, PED afternoon session, and this is my report. Stages in child development. Children change rapidly as they grow. Many of these changes are physical, other changes are cognitive. Means the changes affect the way children think they learn. Child development often occurs by the time they reach the certain age. Kung sa madaling salita, kung anong nakikita gadget, passion ng mga bata ngayon. Children development occurs in stages with each stages having different development and skill. These are behavior or skill most children most children most children can do by a certain age, such as walking, talking, or smiling. Reaching at the typical age indicate that a child is developing as aspect, and especially is the physical activity. Physical activity is the most important because it's important for the child to help the health because it's help development motor skills think and explore the world. And that's all. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My topic is all about infant ages birth to 2 years. The period of life from birth to around 2 years of ages is known as infancy and toddlerhood. During this time, babies experience tremendous growth, coordination, and mental development. Here are the some things that happen during infancy and toddlerhood. First is physical development. Babies double their birth weight by 5 months and triple it by their first year. By age of 2, babies learn to walk, manipulate manipulate object, and form basic words. And second is social and emotional development. Infants learn to trust the world around them through their attachment to parenting, adult, and others. Third is bonding. And this is the time to develop bonds with your child that will last a lifetime as a baby. And the last is culture. The practice, belief, and values of the family can shape an infant and toddler development. That's all. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Marilo Lijano from BA in Evening Session. My topic for today is about middle childhood. Middle childhood between 9 to 11 years of age, problem solving skills and thinking skills develop a lot of this age. Kids may also start to pay more attention to decision making, to organizing ideas, time, things. Middle schoolers often start to understand concepts like power and influence. And also, middle childhood is a stage where children move into expanding roles and environment. Now, let's proceed to domain typical and atypical. Physical. Growth sport may take place. Ito yung mabilis na paglaki ng mga bata na nasa middle childhood na sila. Become clumsy. Minsan naman, palampa, awkward kung gumalaw, increase in appetite. Malakas kumain na may gana sa pagkain. And atypical has limited mobility. To create a society with fewer barriers to health and happiness for people with disability, we need to understand what it means to live with limited mobility. Yes, dapat natin silang intindihin at unawain at irespeto. The second one of domain is socio-emotional. Forms stronger friendship. They know how to socializing, alam na nila paano pahalaga ng pagkakaibigan, anong rumispeto, kasi nga nasa middle childhood na sila. And the second one, aware of body changes due to puberty. They have changes in their bodies like children get taller, heavier, and stronger. There are also changes in children's sexual organs, brains, skin, hair, teeth, and sweetness. Next, show more concern about looks. During middle childhood, children may become concerned about their physical appearance, especially their weight, stature, and muscle size. Next, feel stress about schoolwork. A middle school student may be experiencing stressors such as homework, load, a busy schedule, peer pressure, test anxiety, grades, image concern, lack of support, and changes in routine. Now, so let's proceed to atypical. Has difficulty making keeping friends because around puberty, some kids develop social anxiety and start to worry a lot about what other people think of them. Kids with social anxiety will often avoid socializing when they are worried about embarrassing themselves or feel a strong needs to be perfect and not make mistakes. And that's all. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. I am Zarian F. Martinez, from BEd to Evening Session class. Today we're going to discuss the middle childhood. So what is the middle childhood? Middle childhood between 9 to 11 years of age, problem solving skills and thinking skills develop a lot at this age. Kids may also start to pay more attention to decision making and to organizing ideas. Time and things, and middle scholars often start to understand concepts like a power and influence. First, we're going to discuss the language. So what is the language? In a middle childhood, typical language development continue to speak clearly, expresses one's true articulately, while typical has unclear speech, can tell stories articulately. So this means in a middle childhood, typical language development includes expanding vocabulary, forming complex sentences, and using language appropriately in a social context, while typical development may involve limited vocabulary, persistent grammar errors, or difficulty with the social communication. So what is the cognitive in a middle childhood? In a middle childhood, typical cognitive development are increased attention span, sees view of other people more clearly, while a typical experience problem with the comprehension and attention, unable to keep up with the school curriculum. So those means in a middle childhood, typical cognitive development includes improved problem solving, logical thinking, and ability to focus and remember information. While a typical cognitive development may involve difficulty with attention, memory, or a problem solving and challenge with the age appropriate reasoning or learning task. So that's all my report. So I hope you understand my report today and have a good.
Good day, everyone. So my name is Melody D. Galicia. So my topic for today is all about the early childhood stage. So when we say the early childhood stage, it is the period of rapid and critical development from 3 to 8 years old. So during this period, it is vital for children to receive adequate nutrition, good health care, protection, play, and of course the early education. So these factors contribute to their physical, cognitive, linguistic, and social emotional development. So in the early childhood stage, it has four domains: the physical, social, emotional, and the language, and the last is the cognitive. So we already know what is typical and atypical, right? So when we say typical, we are expected to see on that child, or we can observe it normally to the children that they are doing that. So in the atypical, they are late bloomers, or that is not normal for children to do some things like in other children. So in the physical, like for example, they can run well, so it is part for the typical. So climb easily, hops and stand on one foot, can use the toilet on his own or her own. So that is the typical. We can see it normally from other children, because from 3 to 8 years old, the in that age we can see, or we can normally see it from children, that they can use the toilet, or they can use the toilet on her own or his own. So the atypical, they are falls down often. So in that age, dapat hindi na sila natutumba, 'di ba? Kasi from 3 to 8 years old, no, pag 8 years old pala, so lagi ka pa palang natutumba. So they are late bloomers, or hindi normal sa bata na ganon, and needs help in physical activities that are the physical that are the physical domain. So in the social emotional, the typical we can see in the children, so they can show affection, take turns in games, cooperate with other children, show concern and sympathy, show more independence. So in that age, we can normally see that they are playing with other children, right? But in the atypical does not want to play with others. So hindi normal sa bata na hindi nakikipaghalubilo or hindi nakikipaglaro sa ibang bata. So they are late bloomers. Ganon. So they are usually withdraw. So that's all in the social emotional domain in the early childhood stage. So the next will be Passmore will be reporting the language and the cognitive.
Good afternoon, everyone. So let's proceed about language. So the positive attributes and challenges. The first positive attributes follow 2 to 3 step instruction. So the child can understand and act on instruction involving multiple steps. Example, pick up the ball, put it in the basket, and close the lid. So the number 2 is uses pronouns. The child correctly uses words like he, she, it, we, and etc. to replace noun. Example, instead of seeing John is eating John food, they say John is eating his food. So the number 3 tells and retells stories. The child narrates event or stories coherently, either their own or ones they've heard. Example, yesterday, I went to the park, play on the swings, and saw a big dog. So the number 4 is speaks clearly. The child speech is understandable to the most listeners. Example, pronouncing word like apple and banana. So the challenges, number 1 is has unclear speech. The child speech is difficult to understand due to mispronunciation or lack of clarity. Example, seeing rabbit instead of rabbit. So the number 2 is can tell stories articulately. The child struggles to organize or express ideas clearly when narrative a story. Example, and when I saw and then I did that thing. So the next is cognitive. The number 1 of typical is work with simple toy. A child explore and play with basic toys that aid cognitive and motor development. Example, building with blocks or stacking rings. So the number 2, name colors and numbers. A child can identify and name basic colors and count or recognize number. Example, pointing to a red ball and seeing red or counting 1, 2, 3 when looking at object. So the number 3, draw person. A child began to draw basic representation of a human figure. Example, drawing a stick figure with a head, body, and limbs. So the number 4, name letters. A child can recognize and name some letter of the alphabet. Example, identifying letter like ABC when shown plus card. So the number 5, so development of mental skills. As a child demonstrate reasoning, memory, and problem-solving skills. Example, solving a simple puzzle, remembering where toys are kept or understand cause and effect. Example, pressing a button to make a toy light up. The number 1 of atypical is does not play with simple toys. A child so little to no interest in age-appropriate toy or struggles to engage with them. Example, ignoring blocks, not attempting to use a toy car or falling to instruct with puzzles. The number 2 is losses skills once had. A child forgot or is unable to perform skills they previously mastered. This can indicate development regression. Example, a child who could previously name color but stops doing so, or one who could draw but no longer attempt to. And that's all for today. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Christine A. Palniton from BEd Evening Session. My topic is all about adolescence. Adolescence between 12 to 18 years old. Adolescence is the period of transition between childhood and adulthood. Children entering adolescence are going through many changes in their bodies and brain. These include physical, intellectual, psychological, and social challenges, as well as development of their own moral compass. The changes are rapid and often take place at different rates. It can be exciting yet challenging time in the life of a teenager. Adolescence is a time when your child becomes more independent and begins to explore their identity. Ang adolescence, ito yung stage na kung saan ay nagbibinata at nagdadalaga na yung isang tao. Dito na rin marami ng mga pagbabago tulad na lamang na physical ng anyo ng isang tao, emotional, and marami pang pwedeng mangyayaring pagbabago sa stage na ito pag ikaw ay nasa adolescent stage. So dito rin is more independent na tayo sa magkakaroon na tayo ng sariling decision or decision natin sa buhay. So, dito na rin pumapasok yung may magkakaroon tayo ng curiosity sa mga bagay-bagay na nasa paligid natin.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. My name is Harold, and today we're going to discuss the adolescence. Adolescence starts between 12 to 18 years old. Adolescence is a period of transition between childhood and adulthood. Children entering adolescence are going through many changes in their bodies and brain. This may include a physical and social-emotional. Now let's talk about the physical. So, in physical growth accelerates during adolescence, driven by hormonal fluctuations and marked by the development of sexual characteristics, transforming children into young adults. So, mapapansin din ba natin na habang tumatanda lang sa bata, habang tumatanda is nagbabago ang kanilang katawan, especially sa kanilang weight and also height. Maybe dati nung bata pa sila is kaya pang buhatin ng kanilang mga magulang. Ngunit habang tumatanggal, habang tumataas ang edad ng isang bata, is nagbabago yung bigat ng kanilang katawan or kanilang weight. Especially sa kanilang height, no? Napapansin natin na nagbabago ang kanilang physical. And now let's talk about the social emotional. So social emotional development accelerates during adolescence, characterized by identity formation, emotional regulation, and increased independence, driving growth and self-awareness, relationships, and empathy. So at this stage, no, nagkakaroon na sila ng sariling mindset and also attraction from the opposite sex. So if ever si boy, na-attract na siya kay girl at si girl naman is nag-attract din siya kay sa mga boys. Now, at this stage is meron na silang self-awareness. Alam na nila kung paano mag-inarte sa kanilang sarili kasi nga nakikita na nila kung ano ang dapat nilang baguhin sa kanilang sarili. And also, yes, no, nag-increase na din ang independence nila. Like, alam na, kaya na nila pumunta outside. For example, is sa mga malls and also church and etc. And alam na din nila kung paano makipag-socialize sa mga ibang tao.